time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone, bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews, and weekly giveaways. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
Welcome back, Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones, and we have special co-host in the studio, Bryant Falconer. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Those are a lot of specials, man.
Because you are very special. You know what? We missed you at the live, what do you call it? The virtual HERF. Yeah, everybody was saying, where's Bryant?
Resting.
Hey, did you have a long week?
Yeah, man. It's a lot of decisions I got to make, man. Depending, dealing with people's jobs, right?
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough.
Because of the situations and the information we got Friday and then information we got yesterday. Yeah, I got to make some decisions here.
Yeah, that's tough to do, and we are all experiencing these times together.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I'm tired. I'm real tired.
Yeah.
If you are walking around Walmart just because you're bored at home, don't be running into me invading my 6-foot space.
I have to say this.
You go ahead.
Because of the situation that we're getting ready to have to deal with the state, I had to go out to buy headsets for my team.
Yeah.
Because they may be going home and they need to have the headset so they can answer phone calls and things like that. So I went to Walmart to get these headsets, and I go in there, and I went first to get my tax exempt card because I have to have a tax exempt card because state ain't gonna pay no taxes on this stuff. So
Right.
I get this tax exempt card, then I go to get a buggy, and then I notice this lady getting in a scooter, and then she starts coughing. And when I say coughing, it was the most wretched growl. And I'm an ex-medic. I was a medic in the Army, and I've seen people cough up things, and I froze, Rob. I couldn't move. And I was just standing there shaking. And I'm looking at this woman like, how in the hell are you doing this, man?
Yeah.
And, I can't run right now because of my knee. I
Right.
can't run, but I took off running to get the hell away from her. Because why would you come out into public like that?
Dude, I completely understand. And let me tell you, I got to show you something that I don't think you've seen. I had to go to Walmart to buy bleach to make up our own disinfectant at work.
Yeah.
This is what I saw at Walmart.
You have got to be kidding.
A 16-year-old, 17-year-old boy pushing his grandmother, who looks like she's 90, around in a wheelchair.
Man. Why would you have her out there?
You know what? I was like, dude.
Why would you have her out there?
Exactly. I was like, dude, you're like trying to get her killed. That's how some people are not taking this serious.
No.
And, and I know that a lot of people think, man, we're not going to turn this into a COVID-19 show. So, guys, let us finish our rant, and then we will get on with the cigars. But that level of disregard for the well-being of a loved one just blew me away. Yeah. And because when I go in, I don't even want to go in. I have to go in, and I go straight to where I'm going to get my supply. And if you cross my path, I'm holding my breath.
For real. You see what I walked in with on.
I see a chemtrail of COVID
everywhere.
You know what I mean? I'm just I'm holding my breath until
People
I
used to joke with me because they used to call me a germaphobe, and I'll take that, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now. I just can't deal with
it. Well, Ed came over and had a cigar with me a couple of days ago, and we sat out by the pool, but our chairs
were 6 feet
apart. 6 feet apart. And my wife took a picture through the window and then texted me and said, I don't think you're 6 feet apart. And you know what she said? I'm trying to save Ed's life.
Save Ed's life.
And I was like, don't worry, I measured it.
Got you.
And plus, we were upwind, so anything that was being said was going away from us.
Dead away.
But anyway, let's get on with the show.
Yes, sir.
You guys know how we feel about it, and I hope you're taking it just as serious because it affects all of us.
Please.
It affects your loved ones, and it could affect you.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's cough. Anyway. That's a cigar smoker's cough. But anyway, let's talk about what we're smoking right quick.
Yes, sir.
I'm smoking the one, the only Medallia 6x46. And you know what's funny is, me and Dan go back and forth. He thinks the Toro is number one.
Yeah, that's those conversations.
And he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I got you. He's the president of the company. He doesn't know
exactly. You know what? I'm thinking if Al knew, maybe he'd swap me and Dan. You know what I mean?
I got you.
But anyway, I was scrolling through Instagram earlier this week, and you know who else was smoking the Medallia 6x46?
Who was that?
Cigar Vixen. And I started to send Dan a picture. But Dan is so hard-headed that I don't think it would sink in. So I actually copied the picture, so if I have to prove it, I can.
You have your proof.
But I was like, I'm not going to waste my time on Dan because he's too hard-headed. Yeah. I was, you know what? I was taking the high road.
Gotcha. That's rare for you to take that
road. It is. If anybody knows me, the high road is not often traveled.
His calves are not working going over here. He will stay in it.
So tell us what you're smoking tonight.
My favorite too, the McAuliffe Grande Bow Sumatra. Man.
Nice. I didn't even know you were smoking McAuliffe tonight.
Yeah, it's that time, man. If you looked at my Facebook this week, I've been smoking mostly my favorites, not Facebook, but Instagram. Mostly my favorites. I'm hanging around Roma Craft, McAuliffe. I smoked a couple of. I'm not even gonna say the name because you would get upset.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, Monte Cristos, man.
Oh, good. You know what? I thought you were going to say Fat Bottom Betty.
Oh, no, I haven't got that yet.
Oh, okay.
I drove up to the Leaf yesterday and got my order and picked it up, and I didn't get a Fat Bottom Betty.
You know what? Let me tell you this. While we were having our virtual HERF, I asked everybody what they were smoking, and somebody that was in the HERF, and I apologize, I don't remember who sent it to me. Who?
Talking about he was smoking my favorite.
Yes, the Espada.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I thought it was Cranky Buzzard.
Oh, that's exactly who it was. Yeah, he sent me a picture, and I was like, oh, dude, we're smoking real cigars.
Great taste, Cranky Buzzard. Great taste, brother.
Whatever.
Great taste.
Anyway, and I did tell everybody I had smoked it. They were like, how are you going to talk bad about a cigar you never smoked? I smoked it. I paid $14 for a mediocre stick. So to me, if that's your favorite cigar, smoke on. That's all I can say. Anyway, you know what? Let's talk about what we're drinking because I have lost my drink.
He's lost his drink.
Is it behind me? Nope. Because I'm actually, I'm not drinking whiskey tonight. I'm actually drinking a Topo Chico. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, anyway, I'm drinking Topo Chico.
It's rare. You looking for that shot glass
right.
or the coffee cup, and there's that actual Topo Chico.
Well, let me tell you guys, after the HERF last Friday night, I'm not drinking for a little while.
Hold up.
Dude, man, I never had so much scotch.
Oh.
You know, I've had a few where I turned it on with some bourbon.
Yeah.
But usually with the scotch, I only have 2 glasses and I'm done. Let's just say that Springbank bottle was full when we started, and it only is half full now. It's behind me up on the humidor.
It is.
Yeah. So anyway, I've decided I'm going to take a little break. You know what I mean? Yeah, I need to.
You need to go to
need to go to church.
Yeah, church and a few meetings. You need to get you another type of corn.
No. Hey, what do they say about an alcoholic? They got a problem drinking. I don't have a problem.
You don't have a problem drinking. You're not in denial.
That's right. Oh, anyway,
bruh, I just.
There's been. I'll tell you what. You missed out on a great HERF the other night.
I heard. I saw afterwards.
A lot of really good people came by, and we just had. You know, it really surprises me at how much doing the virtual HERF is like being at the lounge.
Yeah, because it's an opportunity to be, especially now.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to see people, people that, oh God, it's just an opportunity. And there are those that are have cabin fever, which I suffered through at the beginning, all through February. So you understand it. You know, the ability to see somebody else, to see someone else and talk and have a common conversation with somebody else about something that you both love is the best. It's just a great feeling, man. And then get you to get over the edge.
Well, and I tell you this, I already see it happening to where people are having these virtual herfs.
Yeah.
And it's like a contest to see how many people they get to show up.
But
and that's not what it's about to me.
It's not.
I don't care if it's only 4 of us.
Yeah. As long as it's good, as long as it has some kind of context to it.
Right.
We're able to sit down and talk and have a great conversation for as long as it takes, smoke good sticks, and just enjoy each other.
We had a blast.
That's all that matters.
And it was funny. It was jokes. It was cracking up. It was making fun of people. Mainly, it was me making fun of people. But anyway, it was a good time.
I can understand.
Dude, Al Roman and his wife were there. I love those guys. They are so much fun.
Al, man.
And then Nick from the Cigar Pulpit was there.
Okay.
Do you know Tim from Dad Smoking Cigars?
Nope.
Okay, that's a podcast that's out of California.
Okay.
Great guys. Okay. He actually has been on both of them.
Okay.
And anyway, in fact, he closed it down. I had to shut the herf down.
Okay.
I told everybody it was because it was late.
So what was the true reason?
The true reason was that I had so much to drink that I didn't want to be sitting here anymore.
Did you do like on Andy Griffin? You went and checked yourself in?
Dude, I was like, hey, man, guys, I got to get up early.
Yeah.
But the truth was I was sitting there going, holy crap, I'm drunk. I'm not a little drunk.
What was dude's name on Andy Griffin?
Otis.
You put the Otis on?
I did, man. I was like, it's late. I got to go.
He went and checked himself in.
But, the bad thing is, here's what I did wrong, is I realized it the next day. Usually when I'm drinking scotch, I'll have a glass of water to drink in between.
Gotcha.
All I had was the scotch, and I was thirsty.
In between you was scotch. In between scotch.
I would pour myself a scotch, and then in between another scotch. Anyway, it was really good scotch, too.
Yeah, okay, I can see. I can see.
So, anyway, hey, guys, let's talk about McAuliffe for a minute. They're our sponsor. We're super appreciative
yes, we are.
that they sponsor our show, and they've got a lot of stuff going on right now. First of all, I did my bracket. You did your bracket. Nice.
Came down to Lindea and the Sumatra.
And you went with what?
Lindea. I had to be
nice,
truthful. I had to be truthful. I did, man.
I'm a big fan of the Leanda, too.
Yeah. Because it came down to,
I can't believe you didn't end up with the Reserva. I don't know how everyone doesn't end up with the Reserva.
It made it to, what was it, the Elite 8? It made it to the Elite
8.
And then after that, because I was just picking.
I mean,
what? And then the next thing I know, it said.
I want to know what you picked the above.
Listen, I was just picking. And I was trying to figure out where I was on the bracket. And the next thing I know, it said final 2. I was like, what? I was like, what? And then I was looking around. I was like, oh, I'm at the end.
Ah, gotcha. Well, I thought it was a fun thing to do.
It was.
I think it was a brainchild of Sam. And I think Sam knocked it out of the park with that.
Yeah.
I think he really did a good job.
It gave us something to take the place. They had taken so much away from us. All sports had disappeared.
Well, here's the one thing I'm disappointed with Dan.
What's that?
On the March Madness bracket, every year you try to pick the perfect bracket.
Tell the truth.
And if you do, Warren Buffett will give you $1 million.
Yep,
Dan, where's the $1 million?
Where the million sticks? I'll take that million sticks.
Yeah. The million sticks would be worth more than $1 million.
That's what I want is the million sticks. I have to buy me a few of those humidors you have back there and ask Jay for some storage room.
I tell you what, I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And if you haven't done it yet, McAuliffe Cigars has McAuliffe Madness, and there's a link on our website. You can go over there, and you basically go through and pick which cigars of their line.
Yes.
And it's like picking which ones you like best over the other cigar of the same line.
Yeah.
And it comes down to a championship. And for me, it was the Reserva.
You have to take it. I'm just telling you, it can be engrossing because that's what happened to me. And like I said, I looked up and I was like, wait a minute, I'm at the end?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, man, these two. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. I thought it was a great idea. And then something else that McAuliffe has just announced is, I think it was like a week and a half ago, they're doing the Ultimate Inventory. Did you read anything about that?
Not yet.
Okay, so the Ultimate Inventory is something they're doing to support the brick and mortars.
Okay.
And so the biggest obstacle that retail shops have in having a line of cigars is shelf space.
Tell the truth.
So what they've done is when McAuliffe customers come in and say, hey, man, I would like a box of this, but they don't carry that particular line of McAuliffe, they can order it through, like, say, the Leaf, and then the Leaf charges them, takes their money, and McAuliffe ships the box straight to them. I think that is a game changer.
It is.
It allows a retail shop to carry cigars without having to carry the inventory.
Yeah, it maximizes space, which we know that real estate is the biggest thing, especially when you come to a brick and mortar, because the more space you have, the more you can display. And like you said, it could be just somebody they love that McAuliffe, they love the Sumatra, the Grande Bowl Sumatra.
And let me tell you this:
they don't have it. So
I saw someone on a chat or leaving messages of something, and the individual said basically they're just shipping straight to consumers, like it was a bad thing. And here's my take on that: you can't go to the McAuliffe website and order a box of cigars.
No, you can't.
But you can go by your local B&M and order a box through them. So they're still making the money for their retail partner. You see what I'm saying? They're not taking the shortcut, which, I mean, they could be selling McAuliffe cigars on their own website if they wanted to, but they're not. They're allowing the B&M to take part in their partnership, and I think it is a game changer for the retail market.
I was watching a movie with my wife the other day, Ralph Rex the Internet. In it was a perfect statement. Don't read the comments.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Don't read the comments.
Yeah.
Who cares about what people say? Unless if they're not giving you something positive or something constructive to help you build, because you know you need constructive criticism. You do. But if they're not presenting you with any of those, move on.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you what, and now that so many people are cooped up at home, man, fireworks are flying on the internet, aren't they?
Ooh.
You know, I rarely engage on anything that's political, because the problem for me is the people posting articles political, they're either one extreme or the other, and they don't represent the majority of us in the middle.
Nope.
And so I don't really engage with those people, because you're not going to change their mind. They're not going to change yours. So it's just wasted effort.
Yes, it is.
So anyway, let's get back to McAuliffe here before I get off on a tangent on that.
Please.
So anyway, if you're not familiar with McAuliffe cigars,
4 to 42.
4 to 42, that's the price range of their cigars. So at any budget, you can afford to smoke quality cigars.
And that's the thing, quality.
Quality. And they have, 20 different cigars in their line now. And so you can find a cigar for every profile. I mean, whether you want to smoke a Connecticut, a full-blown powerhouse, smoke a Ligero if you want a full-blown powerhouse. And
you
then
better be sitting down.
Right? And then for me, I mean, I think the beauty is the Medallia. I mean, for an everyday smoke, I never get tired of this cigar.
I like the Medallia, I do, but my preference, as you know, is the Sumatra.
And that's for your, and that's what they have something for everyone.
Everybody. And that's the thing about it.
And then, on top of all of that we've already said, they have an ambassador program that is second to none.
Talk about it.
Dude. Okay, so if you're not an ambassador, this must be your first time listening to the show.
Has to be.
So you got to be an ambassador if you're not. Go by their website. We have a link on every page to become an ambassador for McAuliffe. You click on the link, you go by, give them a little bit of information. They send you your own challenge coin with your own number on it.
Favorite 4 letters, F-R-E-E.
Right.
Free.
And the thing about it is, then it doesn't just stop there.
Nope.
They have a private Facebook group just for the ambassadors where everybody talks all the time back and forth. I've made great friends through there. You've made great friends through there. And it's not always that we're just talking about cigars or McAuliffe. It's just a community that they've created that has really blossomed into friendships.
It is, and that's what it's about, and that's what they preach. You know, that's the thing I like about McAuliffe. They walk what they preach. Mm-hmm. They do. When they say they're about their consumers, they show us that they're about. It's not just word of mouth.
Okay. I'm gonna take it one step further. They just released a cigar without a name, and the ambassadors are naming it, dude. Yeah. I mean, these guys are taking it to a whole new level
because they're positioning it about us. It's about us.
It's unbelievable. It really is. So hats off to McAuliffe. We appreciate your sponsorship, and 100%. I mean, we are very particular about anybody that we let sponsor the show, and it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
That's definitely true.
And then once the medallia came on board, I was like, sold. Anyway, let's talk about some of the cigars we've been smoking.
Yes, sir. Like I said, all this week it's been Roma Craft, McAuliffe, Monte Cristo. I had a couple of punches. I almost smoked my last punch egg roll, but
you still got that?
Yeah, I put it back in the humidor.
You just couldn't do it.
I can't pull that trigger, man.
Dude,
I can't pull that.
And that's like we were talking today about the new chop suey.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan.
It's not. It's
okay.
It's perfect. It's okay. It's not the egg roll.
It's like a
but
$6
it's not supposed
stick.
to be.
Yeah, it's a $6 stick, and it's too much like a Lancero.
It is.
It's a little bit small for me.
It's a beginning of the day, just a new smoker type of stick.
Now, you know what? For a new smoker that wants to venture off into a medium to full, I think it's a really good stick. But for me, it was one of those that I wanted to try just because I was a fan of the egg roll. And after I smoked it, I was like, it was okay. It was nothing like the egg roll that was like, holy crap. That's a great cigar for $4.30.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
And we were talking about those at the virtual Herf the other night. And basically that was the same consensus. And so, they knocked it out of the park. They tried to copy it, and it wasn't, to me, as successful.
It's not because it's not the egg roll. It's not.
Right. So. It'd be hard to top that.
Oh, yeah. That's why that one is still sitting in that humidor.
Well, I'm impressed. Someone sent me a message, too, and said they knew where to get more egg rolls.
You need to find out who that is, where they are.
They messaged me, and I'll give you that information because I know you'll be all over that.
All over it.
Yeah. So this week, I've been all over the place as far as smoking cigars. I've smoked Padrones, smoked the 1964, the Maduro. I smoked the Christoph 685. Well, what's that one called? The Land. Man, now I can't remember.
Christoph?
Yeah, it was a Christoph. It's the one that's in the front shelf there at the Leaf. The 685. I'll have to get back to you on that. Anyway, you've seen it. It looks like the cartoon cigar.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Lawndale.
Yeah, Lawndale. Yeah, Lawndale.
And that's a great smoke. I really enjoy that one.
I like you called it the cartoon cigar.
Well, somebody else said that. I think maybe it was Paul. He was like, it looks like one of those, Bugs Bunny cartoons back in the day. But anyway, I smoked that. I've smoked several. In fact, Jay's doing curbside service.
Yes, like I said, he hit me yesterday.
You know what? I pull up, I need 5 medallions. I went down there today, and I was like, I need 5 more medallions. But today, I actually went by there and picked up a couple of medallions, and I picked up a 4-pack of Caldwells. Oh. I'm a big fan of Caldwell also. And then I think, what was it, like 4 days ago, I went by and picked up a couple of Perdomo and some AJ Fernandez. And so I've been all over the place. You know what? When you're trying to stay home as much as possible, you smoke more.
You do. And that's why I had to go take care of what I did yesterday because, it was like I get off work and I go home. I go straight home. There's nothing else out there. I missed the Leaf, but I understand the significance of what's going on today, and I need to be at home. So I get off work, I go home, I smoke me a stick as soon as I get home, and then I'm done for the rest of the day.
Wow. See,
I'm done.
I don't quite – well, I don't have to stay in the house.
Yeah, you don't.
I
you
can come out here.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the weather's been pretty nice. So I've actually been sitting out on the back patio. It's been really nice in the evening. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been smoking. That's what Bryant's been smoking. Let's talk about. I got to do it. I got to do it. I'm sorry, everyone, but I'm going to talk something a little bit political, just because something has really chapped my ass. Here's the thing. I think it's absolutely hilarious and a travesty at what the government just did. The government, in everyone's fear, just wrote a blank check for $1.5 trillion. Now, everyone says, oh, no, it was for $2 trillion. Well, $500 billion they're sending out to the people.
Yeah.
$1.5 trillion.
It's for everything.
They just decided, hey.
All the pork in the world.
Nobody's watching. Let's just do it. And so, anyway, I saw a post the other day. Someone said, you say Trump's not your president, so don't take his money. And then another person said, it's your money anyway. And I said, it's not your money. Mm-mm. It's your great-great-grandchildren's money.
And then I saw one person say, well, y'all were the ones complaining about socialism, so you don't take the money.
Oh.
I was like, here we go. Far left,
and I mean,
far
don't
right.
get me wrong.
I don't care.
I don't know the answer of what should have been done. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that the extra $1.5 trillion should have been taken out.
I'm at a loss. I truly am, because when you look at the list of the things that are on there,
exactly,
I just shook my head. And it was both.
Oh,
it
no.
Just one.
No, it was both.
Yeah, because there were people that was like, well, it was because of this, or it was because of them, and I'm not naming nobody, but it was because of them, because of them. I was like, no, it's both.
That's what makes me laugh, is I see people on this side blaming Pelosi and people on this side blaming Trump, and I'm like, dude, it was every one of them. Yeah. I mean, how come they didn't? And you know what? I don't know what the solution was, so I'm not going to sit here and second guess. I just thought it was funny that right in plain sight, they just robbed a $1.5 trillion.
Just took it all.
I mean, it was like,
took it all.
Hey, everybody's nervous. They won't notice.
Took it all.
So anyway, you know what? If you're out of work and you're hurting and you need money, I'm glad you're going to get it.
I understand.
I'm glad you're going to get it.
I understand it totally.
And I hope it helps some people.
I just hope people spend it smart. Use wisdom with it. Use wisdom, because you have people that look at, well, that's a free $1,200, or a little bit more, depending upon how many dependent children you have. But you have to use that. You have to spend that wisely, because you do understand that the shelves are still being emptied every day.
And the other thing is, we don't know how long this is going to last.
Tell the truth.
So don't blow it.
Mm-mm. Be smart.
Yeah, be smart about it. And I mean, there's some people that, they already know what they're going to do because they're already getting behind.
Yeah.
And so those people, that's where my heart goes out.
Because they already have their roadmap. They already know what they got to do.
Exactly.
And this is their opportunity to take care and take a little bit of that stress up off of them so they can breathe a little bit better. And that's what it was for anyway.
Right. And I would like to see the people who don't necessarily need that money to support your locals, because those people need it.
But will you see that?
I hope so.
That's the thing about it. We hope, and then man every time kicks us in the face.
I don't want to see everybody order everything from Amazon.
Yeah, or winding their asses up at the car dealerships.
Oh.
Buying you, what for?
Yeah.
Well, now I don't have a problem with car dealers. I don't.
No,
They got to make their money too. But do you need a car, or do you need food in your shelves?
Well, and this is one of the things. I don't know. Have you ever been to the Bible hardware store here? Dude, I've never been there until about 2-3 weeks ago. I'm like, you know what? There's tons of stuff in there that I can use for the house.
Yes.
And so those type of businesses, I was like, we need
support.
We need to support them in this time when people aren't out spending money like they normally do.
Because these are the type of people that saw the need in the city, that saw the need that the people had, and they stuck to it with us. They stuck with us with it. So why not support them? Why not support them?
And let me tell you another one that's not actually local, but was very impressive. the CEO for the Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, yeah. What he did.
Dude took a pay cut so his employees could keep getting paid.
Most definitely.
Dude.
Most definitely. Because that's what it's about. First of all, he don't need all that money. Truthfully, he don't need all that money.
And he knows that.
And understanding that he's nothing without his workers, he said, okay, I got to take care of them.
Which is a no-brainer.
But you don't have everybody looking like that.
Right. Dude. Me and my brother were talking about that earlier, and it was like, how do people in certain positions not see this? And I was like, hey, man, greed.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but even if you're greedy, you would know that in the long run, you'd make more money. And I said, but the thing about it is people who are greedy are short-sighted.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? But anyway, that's my rant. We'll get on to the rest of the show. But we do have Robert from Southern Draw coming up.
Most definitely.
Great interview with him. You're going to want to listen to this. In fact, he changed my mind on looking at cigars the way I look at them. Did you hear that?
I heard part of it, yeah.
So I made a statement, and you know what? I'm going to let you listen to the interview because you know what? He not only corrected me, he changed my way of thinking because I had always seen cigars in a certain light, and he changed my way of thinking on that because he backed it up with facts. Yeah. And so hats off because, and you know what? That just shows you I'm not so stubborn that I won't listen.
I was just going to say, and hats off to you for being acceptable of that. Yeah.
I'm the first one to learn from my mistakes.
Oh, yeah. Whew.
Hey, when you've made as many mistakes as I have, you got to learn.
Brother, I'm in that same category. Man.
So, hey, and also, we're going to call up Jay,
yes, sir,
the owner of The Leaf,
yes, sir,
and get an update of how the coronavirus has affected them. And so I want to hear from Jay. If you give me just a second, I'm going to dial him up. Let me see where he is. Let's see. There he is right there on the phone. And let's call him up and see if he'll answer. He's probably going to be like, man, I've been waiting on you for like 3 hours. And I'm going to tell him the truth.
You going to blame it on me?
I am.
Okay.
Bryant was late. Now he's probably not going to answer the phone. Come on, Jay.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Maybe he'll call us back. He's probably, because you know what? Jay's one of those guys that has to find a quiet place to talk on the phone. We'll try Jay back up after the interview with Robert from Southern Draw. And so hang around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Robert. Hey guys, thanks for hanging through the break. We have a special guest with us today. You guys know Southern Draw Cigars, one of my favorites. They make quality, just outstanding premium cigars, and we have Robert from Southern Draw with us today. How you doing today, Robert?
I am doing wonderful. I appreciate you including me today at a very important time, I think.
Yeah, you know, I think that with everything going on, being self-quarantined and not being out and about, but at the same time, you know, taking care of what we need to take care of, families and friends and just stuff like that, that it's good to put a message out and let people know what's going on, because a lot of people are stuck in their homes and they don't have a lot of access other than, you know, what they see on mainstream media. So it's good to reach out to the cigar community and let them know what's going on. So talking about that, let's jump right in. How is Southern Draw doing as far as regarding the epidemic that's going on in America right now with the coronavirus?
Well, not to, you know, raise a flag of concern or warning, because I don't think we're any better off or worse off than everyone else, right? It's tough across the board. It's tough for the small brick and mortars. It's tough for the corporate accounts. You know, it's tough for the consumers trying to access product. But, you know, obviously we've had to step back. We've had to look at the next 90 days of annual events and all these wonderful things that have taken years to plan out. And we've had to pull back and say we need to reassess how are we going to continue to move forward, support our retail partners, support their consumers, and most importantly, support our families and our communities to make sure we all get through this together.
This is probably not just a super popular thing that I'm about to say, but as much as I love the cigar community, and I mean, I probably smoke more cigars than most people by a long shot. My co-host is sitting here shaking his head and laughing. But on average, I probably smoke in the neighborhood of about 8 to 10 cigars a day. But that being said, cigars are not one of those things that is a necessity at this moment. So if you're able to get cigars and enjoy them, it really does take you away from the situation, and it gives you a little bit of peace to enjoy a cigar. So it's not a necessity, but it sure is a nice change of pace from what we're having to do on a daily basis right now, for sure.
I was going to comment on that a little bit. Necessity, by definition, right? It's tough for me to say it's not a necessity, because if cigars were not a necessity for me over the last almost 30 years now, I wouldn't be smoking them. I don't smoke them because it's a luxury item for me. It has created a balance in my life, and ultimately that's developed into a balance in our family and our community. So to me, they are a necessity. And by definition, if you are a brick and mortar, if you're a family-owned business, anywhere in the 50 states that are being affected right now in our territories, I would say that they're absolutely a necessity, right? They're a necessity. They're the lifeblood of what pays people's bills and feeds their families and clothes them and educates them and provides them medicines, right? So by definition of necessity, I think they are. And I think that's really the problem that we're having right now is how do we continue supporting this industry? Because it's a necessity to do so. We're going to lose a lot of really good, dedicated families in this industry in the next calendar year.
Well, and I think that's a really good point to make. And I mean, I think about my local shop here in Abilene, and I mean, those guys are going out of their way to take care of customers. They're not really having people come in and hang out in the lounge and smoke, which is really detrimental for a lot of guys, because that's our downtime and that's our time when we can just decompress from our stressful jobs. And being quarantined, a lot of people think, well, you might just be hanging out, relaxing, but there's a level of stress that comes with that as well. So for me, I would probably agree with you that it has become a necessity for my life as far as the balance and what it means to me to be able to relax for a little bit and enjoy a cigar. So let's talk about this, Robert. You said you've been in the business for 30 years. How did you get into the business?
Well, and let me clarify, I have not been in the business for 30 years. I've smoked premium cigars this is my 30th year. So I kind of go way back where it became an exploratory thing. I've never smoked a cigarette. I haven't been part of smokeless tobacco or hookahs. I've smoked, few in travel as part of a cultural experience. But cigars, once introduced to me, were at a time in my life as I exited the military, without going into great detail, where I needed something to, at the end of every day, to say, this was a good day. It's a day we learned. It's a day we grew. It's a day we survived. And for that, I think that's a perfect celebration. And to me, this cigar was the right way to go. So I've really adopted that in my life. You said, 6, 8, 10 cigars a day. Absolutely. I do smoke 10 or 12 cigars a day myself, and have for a great number of years. Now, 14 years ago, spending a lot of time in Central and South America, I was exposed not only to the agricultural side of it, but the processing side of tobacco. And then, of course, you get into these wonderful environments where people are creating this this art form with their hands, and it happens to be a bundled roll of leaves, that we got to burn. So learning that process from just a consumer that enjoyed cigars, that it created the balance and that daily celebration, to really getting engaged with the people and their lives and what this means to them, how it provides for their families. So, almost, just over 6 years ago is when Southern Draw went into full production with the brand, with a very lengthy, dream of and 15-year business plan to try to grow our business, our brand, expand our presence with brick and mortars, and, really where the family came together, put their money together, put their time and resources together, and made a firm commitment to this industry and to the people that are growing and processing and rolling and packaging our product. We made a commitment to them that we're going to do everything within our resources to continue to grow and continue to support them. So that's really, 30 years of smoking it, but really, 14 years of really studying the industry, and then 6 or 7 years in the full production side of it for Southern Draw.
So let me ask you this, Robert. You said you're in the military. Thank you for your service, first of all. But also, did you start smoking cigars while you were in the military, or was that something you started afterwards?
It was during. It was absolutely during. And as a young boy that was born and raised in California, moved to East Texas, it's not something that I was exposed to, right? It wasn't like the grandparents smoked cigars or my uncle smoked cigars. They were pipe smokers. But it was one person's gesture of handing me a cigar at a very trying time in the military, where he said, today we're going to smoke this, and we're going to celebrate today we made it through, and tomorrow if we make it through, maybe we'll have another cigar. So our family are proud volunteers of military service, many generations, and I mean the brothers, the sisters, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, Army, Navy. For the majority of us, we do have a couple of young cousins now that are serving in the Marines. God bless them. But most of us were voluntary, and a few of them, which are my heroes, are the ones that were drafted, during the Vietnam era, that still, served honorably. But at the end of the day, they didn't raise their hand and say, take me. They were taken, and they were chosen, and they still executed, and I think they made us all proud in what they did, and it gave us a sense of commitment that we needed to do at some point, if we're able-bodied, to serve as well, and we were honored to do that.
Yeah, I think that's a very rich history, and it should be something you should be proud of. We have a good friend of the show that was in Vietnam, and he actually volunteered, and after they tested him, they told him that he would qualify to go into the intelligence department. And he said, no, I don't want to go to the intelligence department. I want to be on the front lines with my brothers. And they were like, well, I guess the test doesn't show you were as smart as we thought you were.
Yeah, I have heard similar scenarios. But listen, there's something about the military service, the scenario you just mentioned, and really being part of the struggle in the industry that we're chosen to be in, right? If you're part of the struggle, if you spend most of your time in Central and South America, tobacco growing, cigar producing region, you understand it's a struggle every minute of every day. And I don't mean for the big brand owners, because they started there. I promise you, they started in the fields or on the farms or in the curing barns or on the floor, and they've built something for their families and for their communities and for their employees. But if you look at everyday life, military is not much different than the cigar industry. It's an everyday struggle where you get paid little. You usually get some form of shelter, some form of food, some form of clothing, right? You get the bare essentials, but the rest is on you. And that's the beauty of what all of us get to do now, is we get to be part of that struggle. And this scenario, where we are today and where we're going to be in the next coming months with all these challenges, you're going to see more and more families involved in the struggle, not the luxury. They're going to be involved in the struggle. And that's really what we're talking about today.
How many different cigars is in the Southern Draw line right now?
There is about 20 different blends on the market under the Southern Draw brands. 5 of those are what we call core brands, core lines. That, of course, most people know: the Rose of Sharon, the Firethorn, which is the Habano Rosado, the original Kudzu Oscuro, the Cedrus, which is that Bazuki Sumatra with the green wrapper, and of course the Jacob's Ladder, that big bold broadleaf and the deep blue and gold. Now that's core size. And then we have what we call the value line, which is the Quick Draw series, a real celebration of classic Cuban sizes, petite Coronas, Corona Gordas, Panatellas, very value driven. Try to keep it in that $5 to $6 range. Small ring, small format, but affordable for those people that only have 30 to 40 minutes to enjoy a true premium cigar without putting it down. And then the most important for us is really getting into the charity lines, right? So under the 300 Hands line, which benefits 100% Nicaraguan charities, we have 3 blends and 5 sizes. So there's 15 cigars currently in the 300 Hands line. Again, classic Cuban sizes from Petit Mundos, Coloniales, Corona Gordos, Pyramides, those sizes, and a nice Connecticut, a Habano, and a San Andreas Maduro. But again, value price driven, somewhere in the $5 to $6 range for most of those in most states. And then as we move over to the Ignite series is what we use, the tools that we use to support our chosen military oriented charities. For a few years, a big focus was Cigars for Warriors, getting cigars in the hands of our deployed men and women abroad. We've since expanded that in the last 18 months. The real focus here is the Navy SEAL Foundation, one of the top 1%, of charities in this country, really helping to bring attention to, awareness to, and provide quantifiable support to transition services from our Navy operators coming back to the rear, engaging in their communities with their families and teaching them through transition to come back and be one with the community, which is a very tough transition. And in that series right now, there's 5 different blends and multiple sizes. So you're looking at about 20 different blends of cigars on the market that are available under the Southern Draw banner today.
Well, I appreciate you telling us all of that information, because I didn't realize how involved you guys were with military services and charity regarding the military. So hats off for you guys doing that. We're always supportive of Cigars for Warriors, but I didn't know you guys were that in depth. So we appreciate that, and congratulations for that work.
Again, our honor. It's something that the family tends to discuss quite aggressively throughout the years, and we try to really plan this out so that we can, spend 2 years on a very specific charity and get it to a point where we can grow that before we select another charity. And, thus far it's been very rewarding. It's spending time in the community with people that are part of these charities as they share their message and their testimony, and how this little industry that's struggling on its own is so willing to give to them, to good causes, and to be part of change, and it's just it's an honor to be part of it.
Well, that's one of the things that I think that the members of the cigar community are so proud of, is that the cigar community itself is a very charitable group. And I don't think you find that in a lot of other groups. I know there are some, but the cigar community is always willing to help other people. And I think the military has definitely got a soft spot in our heart for sure. So let me ask you this, Robert. What is your, I know it's hard to say top cigar, but which is be like your top 3 favorites that you smoke on a regular basis for Southern Draw?
Yeah, which one's your favorite kid, right? It's not a possible question to answer concisely or simply. I'm a mood smoker. It's about time. It's about weather. It's about what I'm drinking or eating, or whether I have, what time of night or day it is. But, listen, our blends reflect people and their impressions and their contributions to me personally. So because I've got to have the forum to create the blends and create the brand and the message behind them. So whoever's on my heart, whoever's on my mind that day, that is part of our family and portfolio, those influences that have come into my lives over the years. So right now I can tell you I'm smoking the original first ever produced Rosa Sharon Toro. Obviously, anybody that follows Southern Draw knows that A, Sharon is my wife of 25 years now. B, she is an integral part of Southern Draw. She handles all of the customer service, all the order processing, fulfillment, payments. I mean, just tireless lady. And they know that this pink band that we were told would never sell is a representation of the actual Rose of Sharon plant. We wanted to bring that color in.
So your wife is an integral part of the business, really. Which one of you two is the boss? That's what I was going to ask you.
Well, most people that follow us know that I refer to her in a lot of different terms of endearment, but the bottom line is the official title is the boss lady, and that'll probably tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, trust me. I've been at home with my wife for a few days. I completely understand. So what do you, I'm assuming that the PCA in July is probably going to be canceled. Were you guys planning on going if they do have their annual trade show?
I think your assumption's probably correct, given the scenario. It takes a lot of planning to pull that off. And if you wait till the last minute and then it's canceled, it's like a fire, right? You can't put it out. We're always committed to our industry associations. But most importantly, we're advocates for not only the support of all the challenges that we have, whether we measure it, don't measure it, we agree or don't agree. We're in the industry. We've chosen to be in it, but you never turn down opportunities to spend time with your customers. And that is the beauty of the trade show, is spending time with the people. So we pray that when that is changed or moved, that it's in a window that will allow us to participate aggressively, meaning our entire family. And if you know anything about Southern Draw and trade shows, typically our booth and our time is filled with only family members of Southern Draw spending time and smoking cigars with consumers and retailers. So it's important. I think we all have to understand that we're going to be shifting a lot of things this year. Cigar Fest just got shifted. The Texas Cigar Festival just got shifted. And this is only the beginning of big annual events that are consumer driven. They're going to have to try to be forced into, the last 2 quarters of the year, best case scenario. So we're all going to have to be flexible and mindful that, we're going to be forced to make some decisions here.
Oh, absolutely. Really, if you would have thought about it, it would have been great to have cigar shops set up, temporary shops down on the beaches for all the kids. I'm just kidding. With what I saw in the news today, I was like, wow, some people are just, living regardless of what everybody else is doing. So what do you guys look for coming up in the next year? I mean, do y'all have anything like planning to be new releases, or are you planning on holding steady with what you have and expanding your market or building upon your charity organizations? I mean, what do we have to outlook for Southern Draw this next, say, 12 to 18 months?
I think number one is going to be about survival. There is no question that, we produce more than 1 million cigars a year. We're not as small as people think we are, but we're much smaller than we possibly could be with, the grace of God and all the support we have. Now, that means this quarter is going to have a big impact. It's going to have an impact as factories close production and packaging and distribution. It obviously is going to have a big impact that our customers can't go into retailers and spend the time that they do, which means our events are not going to generate as much traffic and following and support. So, we need to be realistic about our expectation. Our expectation, number one, is to make sure that we have product in the hands of our current retailers, so that if they choose to do curbside or online or call in or home delivery, we want to be there for them and make sure our current retailers have product, even in the face of cash flow issues and access to capital. We're going to use every cigar we have in the warehouse to support them, number one, because that's the right thing for us to do, and it's just the beginning. 2, yes, we have a very aggressive year of new releases between now and the trade show. We started at TPE with 1 release, and of course, we have a lot of things planned this year, but we might have to put those on hold depending on production to make sure our core product gets in the right hands and continues to support. But we're all about, making sure we have something fresh and new and exciting to share. We've got some retailers that carry every Southern Draw product, and the best thing we get to do each year is to go spend time with them and reward them for their loyalty with something new and fresh and exciting, right? So we're hopeful. We're hopeful, even if we have to push out the Q2, Q3 to the end of the year, that we're going to bring new products to the market. But, let's all focus on one thing, which is making sure that all the brick and mortars that have been very innovative and they found new distribution channels to try to keep their lights on, that all of us support them and drive consumers to them in any way we can, and make sure they have product to generate cash and keep the lights on. Because I think without them in the future, our growth potential is going to be nil, right?
Yeah, I definitely think this is the time you need to support your brick and mortar any way you can. Those guys have always been here for us whenever everything's been, I guess you would say, as normal as possible. But at these times, I think it's even more important to take care of the brick and mortars. I know whenever we get done with the show today, I'll be running over there to restock up on some cigars and definitely some coffee. So is there anything else you want to touch on before we go, Robert?
Oh, I'm honored. I'm glad you guys are still carrying through with your broadcast and podcasts. And listen, the media participation in this is going to be vital, bringing accurate and honest information to retailers and consumers. Number one, giving people something to listen to or watch when they're holed up and they're locked in their garages and on their patios is going to be vital. So, the service that you guys are going to provide right now needs to continue. There's going to be interruptions in everybody's life, but let's give everybody a little quality of life here by, talking to them, seeing them, spending time on social media, whatever we need to do to stay connected, stay informed. And the one thing I want to say before we go is, for all of your listeners, whether they're Southern Draw fans or not, the bottom line is I can assure you that most of these brands are going to support the brick and mortars, going to support the consumers. They're going to give some incentives to try to help them move product in this tough time. And let's not be shy. It may not be something we're used to, where we're not getting to go into the shop, browse the humidor, and sit down with our friends and family. But, whatever it takes, if you've got some expendable income and it's something you're going to do anyway, let's try to get to these brick and mortars. And most of them have a channel. They have a way to get your product, and let's just keep driving and let's keep smoking. Let's keep burning leaves together.
Absolutely. Hey, and one other thing before we go, Robert, is tell everyone how they can go check out Southern Draw, whether it be on Instagram, Facebook, or website. Tell us how to get to your location.
Thank you. I would say the most important is to go to www.southerndrawcigars with an S, southerndrawcigars.com. Our story's there, but most importantly, our mission is there. Click on 300 Hands, click on Ignite, see the charity, see the mission, see how you can participate and support. Everything about our brands and our blends and availability is there, but it also has a great live feed for all the media. Every time we get a rating, a review, a comment, a show, we put that live link. We drive the traffic back to the origin. But we're also very active on social media, and I say we. I'm the designated guy, so I try to stay active. But Southern Draw Cigars on Facebook and SD Cigars on Instagram and Twitter. We try to feed those each day, keep everybody updated what we're doing, where we're going, why we're doing it. But most importantly, if we get a chance to spend some time together, by following our website and our social media, you'll find a way to engage with us, and we certainly appreciate it, and we're honored to communicate with the market and with the audience.
Well, I just want to say this, Robert. Hats off for the cigar line that you guys have. You guys do make quality cigars. I've smoked several different ones in your line, and I got to say they are definitely premium cigars that I enjoy. But I want to say thank you more so for coming on the show and telling us your story. I think connecting people with you and your company and the story just provides a lot of value for consumers. So we want to say thank you for taking the time.
Hey, my honor, and I appreciate the invite. And maybe next time when we chat, we'll get the boss lady on and get her perspective, because I tell you what, there's nothing like the perspective of a mother that has a lot of responsibilities, both in life, in the community, and in the corporate world. And she brings another value. And I'm not doing that to brag her up, because she's not listening. But I tell you what, she knows what the challenges of the households and the businesses are right now. And we'll just put that on the table for another time. But God bless you guys. Be well. And we're here if you need anything. If you find some consumers that are struggling, that need a couple of sticks or something, you just let us know. We'll take care of it.
Hey, Robert, thank you so much for taking the time. And if there's anything that we can do, feel free to reach out anytime, brother.
Will do.
All right, take care. And it was good talking to you. Thank you, Robert.
Pleasure. Have a good week.
All right, you too. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the interview with Robert from Southern Draw Cigars. Hats off for that family, man, supporting the United States, all of them being in service.
Yeah.
I mean, hats off. And all the charities that they're involved with, I love the idea that they work with a charity for a couple of years to make sure it's solid, get it off the ground, and then they move on and help another one. And they're all veteran affiliated. Hats off for that.
I can't do nothing
and they
but
make
smile
great
about
cigars,
that,
man.
Yeah, I can't do nothing but smile about that, being a veteran. Hey, thinking about us, man. Thank you.
Well, you think of like companies all the time, and it's like you don't really think about them being a veteran.
Mm-mm.
But that was somebody who volunteered to serve their country. Yeah. So hats off.
Sign that blank check to Uncle Sam.
Absolutely. So thank you, Robert, for joining us, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again real soon.
Yes,
we look forward to seeing what you guys are doing. Tried to invite Robert to one of our HERFs. We'll be doing that, and hopefully he'll be able to come by. So anyway, we weren't able to get a hold of Jay right away, but we did eventually talk to him, and he is going to be able to jump on and talk to us for a little bit, and we'll see how that pans out. He had to run and pick up some supplies for home and one of his employees.
Yeah.
So Jay has the biggest heart. Let's talk about the Leaf for a minute. So in this time of the epidemic going on, or pandemic, they are still open for business, but you can't go to the shop.
That's correct.
So, and I don't know how it worked for when you went by.
Curbside.
Yeah, curbside. I got that part. But you drive up, somebody comes out, takes your order, and then you pay for it, you get your cigars and go.
I texted him. I want
did
this.
you?
I want this. How much is it? He told me. I got there. He came out with his reaching tool.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. So he had like this 4-foot arm with those pinchers on the end, and I just busted out laughing. But at the same time, I appreciate that level of concern for his customers.
Yes.
So he told me that in between customers, they even disinfected. Just to be extra safe. So there's no human contact, but it was funny because whenever I went by there, Jay and Casey both came out.
Okay.
But they were keeping 6 feet
apart from
between them and
you.
for me. So anyway, we want to appreciate what Jay's doing. And a lot of you guys have already reached out to me, and I've given you Jay's information, but I'm actually going to put up Jay's information on our homepage. So if you need cigars and you're not able to get out and get some, you're going to be able to support the brick and mortar and still get your cigars because Jay is going to mail order. Now, I will tell you this. We had a friend of the show from Utah that wanted to make an order from Jay, and Jay couldn't fill it. And here's the reason why. Because Jay will research all the laws of your state.
Yes, before he does it,
In Utah, the only people who can receive cigars in mail is if you have a cigar retail license.
So it's only brick and mortar to brick and mortar or retail to retail. Okay.
And so, unfortunately, we weren't able to get him hooked up, but I was really surprised. I didn't know any states had that law. Wow. But that's, Jay's got to do due diligence on his end.
Because he has to obey the law, too.
Right.
So send it to Wyoming.
I mean, I'm the one that really doesn't honor the law.
Hey.
I'm just kidding.
If y'all can look at me right now, just.
So I want to talk a minute about what we're doing during this time when you're confined to being home. So I assume that you've been binge watching stuff.
Yeah.
What have you been watching?
Man, I watched every season of Sanford and Son.
Oh, no way. You went back old school.
Man, I love Fred Sanford.
Dude,
man.
I love Grady.
I
love Grady.
Bubba.
Yes. And then what's
Esther.
No. Yeah. But what's his son's name?
Lamont.
What's Lamont's Puerto Rican friend's name? Julio. Oh, dude, I loved Julio. He was hilarious. For all you young guys out there, you have no idea about Sanford Son. You should definitely check it out.
You have no idea about 70s sitcoms. The sitcoms we have today, some are fun, some are funny, but in the 70s, there were no holds barred.
No, there was no political correctness.
No. The things that they're saying on there, I'm looking, I'm like, ooh, can't say that now.
Right. That was kind of like the Jeffersons and All in the Family.
Family.
Oh.
And see, the channel that I watch is Get TV. All in the Family comes on before Sanford and Son, so I watch two of them also.
Oh. Well, you know what's...
I love Archie Bunker, man.
Oh, yeah, dude, classic.
He is, man.
Well, back in the day, it
That
used
was
to
the
be the Archie Bunker show, and then right after it was the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize until later that Mr. Jefferson was actually on All in the Family.
Because they lived next door.
Well, I don't think they lived next door. They lived across the street.
Yeah. And Wheezy was, she worked with, I can't think of Archie's wife's name now.
Edith
at one time. So that's where they started. Then they spent off the Jeffersons.
Right.
And it grew.
Right. And you remember that episode, wasn't it like one of their birthdays?
Yeah.
And one of them wouldn't go to the other one's birthday.
Yeah, and there was a lot of language in that one that we can't say right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it just amazes me how they say we've gotten gotten better, but the enjoyment and the freedom that was in the 70s and the 80s, man, it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, with the whole political correctness and everybody's touchy-feely feelings, I don't know that we're better off.
I don't.
Because back in the day, you knew where everybody stood.
Tell the truth.
There was no backstabbing.
There was no blurred lines.
Right. And, I mean, there's something to that where, and you knew who was what.
Yes.
And it's like, it didn't make you dislike them. It's just, that's how they were.
That's how they were.
And
you either accepted
them
it
or you didn't have to.
Tell the truth. Kept on moving.
It left you with more options.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I can't find my lighter. You got a lighter over there?
I just put my lighter up. Here you go.
Let me borrow it because I'm lighting up this Caldwell. You got a smoke going?
Nope. I just finished that Sumatra. I've been smoking on that for a while. I love it, man.
Dude, I finished that medallion like 20 minutes ago.
We know how you smoke sticks.
Yeah, let me light this up right quick. What are you smoking now?
I'm thinking about that Sabertooth, but I want to put that up, too.
I wouldn't go with the Sabertooth right now.
I'm saying because I want to put that up, too. Oh, man, just holding this in my hand is like, oof, put it back down.
I've never smoked the Sabertooth. No, I don't want it. I know you've been hanging on to that, so. There's certain cigars I wouldn't ask you to give me.
I bless you because in
I know you
blessing
would.
I get a blessing.
I know you would, and I appreciate that. But, it's kind of like in the old days whenever we were teenagers and, like, I don't know, did you smoke cigarettes when you were a teenager?
Yeah, I smoke Cools.
Yeah, I smoked Marlboro Lights, and the thing about it is someone come up, people always bum smokes from you. But if it was your last cigarette, there was a few people that you would actually give that last cigarette to.
Some. That list was real small.
Now, let me tell you a secret. Back whenever I was young and we always had a front shirt pocket, I carried my cigarettes in my shirt pocket, but I tore about this much, about an inch all the way around where the cigarettes came out. That way you never had to take the pack out of your pocket. You could just reach in and pull it out, because if people saw you with the pack, they were asking for a cigarette. Those were the days.
Yeah, bro.
So here's what I've been doing. Oh, you want your lighter back?
Yeah, so I can light.
I got you. So anyway, I've been watching with my wife a show called Succession. Have you heard of that one?
Nope.
It's on HBO. And if you have Apple TV, you can get HBO for free for 14 days. No, 7 days. I thought it was 14 days. And then whenever I got my bill,
you're like, whoa.
I was like, what did I get charged $15 for? Well, it was HBO. But anyway, we've been watching Succession. Really good show. It's about a super rich family that runs the media in America. And there's a lot of backstabbing and competition within the family, and it's just a really messed up family.
Well, that's real.
Exactly.
That's
so
real.
I've been watching that, and something that I'm just chomping the bits at to get started, but I probably won't start it till next weekend, and when I have some time, is Ozarks just came back out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Do you watch that?
I don't, but I saw that. Because,
Dude.
it has, what's his name?
Bates.
Bates, yeah.
Dude, that's a show you need to go back to season 1 and start, because it is something that, like, you can't stop watching.
You know what? Me and my wife have been watching, and it's just it's comical to me and her. We've been catching on Netflix a lot of African movies.
About Africa?
No, just like movies in Africa. And
movies in Africa?
Yeah.
Like what?
Ghana. The stories like we would see in movies here, but they're made there.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You're watching African-made movies.
Yeah, man, these movies are hysterical, man. The way the cinematography, one thing I can say, they are some very colorful movies, though, man. Because the wardrobe.
I was gonna say the
sets,
clothes,
the scenes. Yeah, man. I was just like, and they love color over there. But it's just
now. Let me ask you this. I'm very curious. So you know how movies and television shows in the States are. Does the African-made movies or shows have to throw in the automatic sex scenes every freaking show?
Nope.
Because you know what?
Nope.
I get it.
Nope.
I know. You know what? You don't even have to have that scene. In fact, I was watching the show. Maybe I talked about this before, but I was watching that show. It was like one of those 9/11 emergency shows, but it's the one made in Texas, down in Austin with Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
And it's like his son is gay, and they have to show sex scenes with his son and his son's lover every episode. And I'm like, I don't need to see that. And it's not, and don't get me wrong,
No,
it's
not
not
that.
because it's gay.
Yeah, you just don't
It's
need to see the sex
because
scenes.
I
Yeah.
don't need the sex scene.
Yeah.
And if you want me to know they had sex, have them take off a shirt, go in the door, and close it.
Yeah.
And now I get what's going on.
And the thing is,
I'm not an
that's what
idiot.
you get with the African movies.
They're subtle
Yeah,
about it.
very real subtle about it, and that's what we laugh about. He's like, yeah, if it was here, you'd be seeing
You'd
it.
be seeing everything. And I'm going to tell you right now, you guys are going to think that me and my wife are a prude, but we skip through that. I
There's
don't
no
need
reason
to
to see it.
that. I already know.
That has nothing to do. And if it does have a lot to do with the plot of the movie, I shouldn't be watching it anyway.
You know what? It doesn't.
To me, I
It
shouldn't be watching
doesn't
it anyway.
ever. I mean, except for that one movie.
I know which one you.
Which one was that movie?
Fatal Instinct.
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction.
Attraction.
Yeah. That's the only one I was getting ready to say. That's the only one where it
no,
played into it.
You're thinking both the other one. The other one's Basic Instinct.
With the one with Sharon Stone.
That's Basic
okay,
Instinct.
that's the one I'm talking about.
The other one was with Glenn Close.
Oh,
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
That movie scared every man
that
in
was
America.
for real.
So anyway, I'm watching Succession. That's been a pretty good show. We're going to be watching Ozark soon. And then my wife just started watching Tiger King.
I've seen too much about that. I don't even know. If I wanna watch
My wife
this.
told me I don't want to see it.
Yeah, because I've read a lot
It
of
sounds
reviews.
crazy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
anyway,
I'll tell you
and-
what I started today.
what's that?
The new One Day at a Time.
I don't know what that is.
It's a sitcom. It's on Netflix though.
Oh, really?
It's
I'll have to check
two
it out.
seasons in. Yeah, it's different because the lead character now, she's a female. Yeah, we know, but she's a Cuban American. But she was in the army, and her husband left, and she got her 2 kids, and it's the same premise, but it's about today, and it got me stuck because I'm sitting there looking at this. I was like, yeah, it's not the old one. But it's still funny to me.
Huh.
It's
I
funny.
didn't even know there was
Yeah.
one like that, so I'll
Yeah.
check that out too. Now, the other thing that I've been doing is, I listen to a lot of music.
Yeah.
I haven't just been listening to music. I've been listening to full albums like I used to do. You know what I mean? Last night, I came in here and lit up a cigar, and I listened to the entire Pink Floyd The Wall album. It was fantastic. And then
On wax or through Alexa?
no, I actually listened to it on my vinyl.
Mm.
And it's got the little popping going on in between songs.
Yeah.
And so it was just really enjoyable. And so that's what I've been doing whenever I have an hour and a half to listen to. I listen to the whole album. And we get so caught up now because everything is so available instantly that you don't listen to a lot of albums anymore.
You just listen to what you want to hear off that album and move on, but you lose the aspect of they put this entire album together to take you on this trip.
Right. The other album I listened to about 3 days ago was Rush. Caress. No, not yours. I listened to Caress of Steel.
You did?
Now, I don't know if you know Caress of Steel, but side A of Caress of Steel is like a journey through one of those movies, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
It's that type of medieval story. And then the flip side is just rock and roll. I don't know if you've ever heard I Think I'm Going Bald.
Yeah, I have.
That's on the B side. But the A side is The Men from Willowdale. And it's like this
Never heard of
mythical story. And every song is like the next chapter in the story.
Okay.
Great album.
Yeah,
Great
I'm
album.
gonna get that information. Even though I won't have it on wax, I can find it on Amazon, can I?
Yeah, aren't you on Spotify?
Yeah.
Okay, it's on Spotify. But anyway, so that's the other thing I've been doing. I've been not just been watching TV when I have time. I also been listening to some really good music and taking advantage of, when I'm sitting here by myself, that I'm actually listening to the whole album because I've got away from that. So it's kind of nice experience to do that.
Going back to that time, man, when you could just sit back and just listen to an entire album and take that ride with them.
Right? So anyway, guys, we wanted to make an announcement this week. We have just started something new. This is the new release information. So hopefully you're still tuned in at this point in the show. Because
if you didn't, you're going to miss it.
Right. We kind of gone off on a lot of tangents. But anyway, starting in May, we will be delivering, for those who sign up before
April 15th.
or by April 15th, the Cigar Talk Show Pack. This is a new monthly cigar subscription. It's going to be $34.95. That includes shipping. And you're going to get the same cigars that we smoke on the show. I always have a lot of people ask me, where can I find this cigar? Where can I find that cigar? So we've decided that instead of telling everybody where we can find these cigars, because a lot of people can't get to those, that we're starting a cigar subscription. And we've partnered up with Renegade Cigar Lounge up in Richardson, Texas. They're going to handle everything for us. But you go to our website, click on the link that says Cigar Talk Show Pack. You'll get 4 cigars every month, and you can cancel at any time, of course.
Anytime.
And anyway, that way you can smoke what we smoke.
Tell the truth.
And so we just wanted to do it because we had so many requests of, well, where can I find that? Where can I find that? And so and we try to do it a value. And I looked around, and Brandon over at Renegade looked around at other cigar subscriptions, and we wanted to make sure it was a value. So we did $34.95, and that includes shipping. I don't know that you're going to find a better value. And we're going to be picking some badass sticks. So anyway, we wanted to let you know about that. Go by our website. You can look at Cigar Talk Show Pack. Click on the link. It'll take you to the Renegade page where you can actually sign up.
So those that stayed with us all the way through to this point,
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there on this wild
that
ride.
ran away from us.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, as you've probably noticed during this pandemic, the shows have been kind of like free-for-all.
Unscripted.
Because, we're just hanging out smoking with you guys.
Yes.
And so we are appreciative that you stick with us. And, I'm going to tell you right now, we've seen some drop-off on the listenership. And here's what I know. A lot of people listen to the show when they're driving to work. They're not driving to work. So we've probably lost about 10% listenership, which I'm not upset about at all, because I understand that people have life going on right now. And we're more than happy that when these guys get back on their feet and getting into the routine, that they'll be able to come back and join us.
Because we'll still be here.
And we're going to keep doing what we do. Yeah. And so we're going to be here every week. Yeah. That's our commitment to you guys.
The appreciation you all show us is what we put back out, because it comes down to you taking out of your day, some time out of your day, to listen to me and Rob rant and rave about what we're smoking and how we feel about things. And we truly appreciate that. We do. So we're going to stay here. We're going to be a part of this, and we're going to be a part of this community until
you kick us out.
Yeah. You two got to go.
That's right. So anyway, you know what? You know what time it is?
You got to call Jay.
No. I'm not calling Jay yet.
Right now.
You know what other time it is?
Oh, yeah. It's
the AJ Fernandez giveaway. Yes. Who is our AJ winner this week? And let me see. Let me go through.
Hit that button.
This week we have, I don't know if this is the Ricky Williams, but it is Ricky Williams.
Yeah, now AJ doesn't send that type of.
Congratulations to Ricky Williams. You are our AJ Fernandez giveaway winner this week. Go ahead.
I hope that is that Ricky
wouldn't
Williams.
That be awesome?
That would.
Now let me clarify, because that's a pretty common name.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to just say that in your email address, Ricky, you have a 1220.
Okay.
So if you're another Ricky Williams, I apologize. You're not the winner, but let's clarify, because most of the names we usually get seem to be pretty unique. But Ricky Williams is an email address that contains 1220.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Ricky. All you have to do is send us an email and in that email on the subject line, say AJ Winter so I can find it, and then send me your name and address, and I'll get those shipped out to you on the following Monday. Yes. Now, here's the thing. If you guys want to sign up to possibly be our weekly winner, all you have to do is go by our website, click on the register.
Yep, just register.
Email, name, boom, you're done.
That's it.
And we're not going to blow up your email box.
And it's not every week. It's just once.
Let me just tell you something. I think in a year, actually more than a year, we've actually sent out 2 or 3 emails. We're just not going to blow up your mailbox. And I mean, it's like if something important comes out, we'll send something out. But you know, I just hate to be that guy that's blowing up your mailbox,
because that's not what we're here for.
Yeah, you know, I like to say that I just really, really appreciate all the companies that I've ever registered with sending me their announcement on how they're handling this COVID.
Man, there's companies I forgot I'd be up with that are sending me. I was like, what is this?
Let me tell you something. This week, I got an email from Hasbro.
Dude, your children are grown.
I know, right? I was like, how long has Hasbro been sitting on my email address? My kids are 20 and 18.
Wow.
And I was like, hey, at least they're doing something.
Yeah.
So anyway, Ricky, you got to send me that email address and let me know you won by next Sunday by 1800 Central Time. That's 6 p.m. for everybody that doesn't know military time. So anyway, congratulations, Ricky. We appreciate it. And for everybody else, maybe you'll be the winner next week of AJ.
Yeah.
Because I've been smoking some AJs.
Yes, you have.
Dude, me and Ed were smoking some AJs the other day. And he was going on and on about it. And apparently, Ed doesn't know that much about AJ. So I had to educate him.
That I would have loved to sat in.
Dude, well, I wish you could have been here.
Because Ed loves to ask questions. Then he ponders.
Yes, he does. Ed is a laid-back, cool dude.
Yeah, he's that type of professor that you wanted in college.
Right.
Because he is, I mean, he's just cool like that. And he ponders everything. Everything.
Yeah. You know, we had some good conversations. And after we were done talking, he said this to me, and he said, you know, you have a very unique way of looking at things. I don't know if that was him trying to be nice.
That's an Edism.
Right. I was like, what does that mean?
You got an Edism real quick.
So anyway, I'm lighting up my cigar again. It went out. I apologize.
Which is one of those instances that really don't happen with Rob.
Hey, right. Hey, so let me tell you something. For anyone, and this is off topic, and that's kind of what we're doing tonight, but I found, if you don't have hand sanitizer, I found a place that sells it by the gallon. And it is Froggy's. Let me see here. Let me pull this up. Here it is right here. It's expired. But anyway, you can't get the deal, but it's $46.99 a gallon. Is that expensive?
Really not.
So, but they had it on sale for $36 a gallon. And I wanted to get some, and my wife was like, we don't need it. We got plenty. So I wanted to put that out there. But anyway, even though that it's still $46.99, also has free shipping. It's from froggiesfog.com. They have the 1 gallon Froggies Simply hand sanitizer. It's 80% alcohol. So you probably want to use some lotion after you get done.
Because you're going to be ashy.
Yeah. So anyway, hey guys, I guess Jay is not going to make it. Let me try him one more time because we're getting to that part of the show where we got to wrap it up. Let's see here. All right, let me call him. You guys hang tight with us. Just ringing.
Yeah. He might be in that one line at Walmart.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic message system.
All right, guys. Well, we'll try to have Jay on next week and get an update on what it's like running a cigar shop during the American pandemic. Anyway, guys, let's see. Next week, we're going to have Melanie on, and then also we're going to have one of the founders of, I believe it's Black Star.
Okay.
You sent that message to me.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
Yeah.
And so
Out of
I had already been talking to them. They just, I guess they don't know me and you talk. So anyway, we'll definitely get them on the show as well. And I hope all you guys are staying safe and healthy.
Please.
And taking care of yourself. Reach out, talk to us anytime. We're here for you. And I guess till next week,
keep smoking.